subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss when I post. Cause when I post, it just be random, y'all. It be random days of the week and it be random times of the week. It really be when the spirit moves me. For real.
Sit back and take notes as I take totes of this marijuana smoke. Listen to my lyrics, I swear you'll never go broke. I know how it feels to have your back against the ropes.
You guys, what's up? Okay, so first of all, let's get into what I'm smoking. I have some AC/DC, and I am going to link below where I got this. So AC/DC is a strain used, where's my lighter? It's a strain mostly used for pain, anxiety, depression, but it also is used to like uplift your mood. It's used to give you like mental clarity and stuff like that. So the reason I picked it to do this video in particular is because when I smoked it before, I actually did it when I was doing some like research and stuff on investing in stocks and different stuff like that. Just for those of y'all that maybe want to smoke on a little something while you know, invest in yourselves, so that you can get something that's kind of like gonna relax you but still uplift your mood, not make you groggy or like, you know, just too couch potato-y. I guess the scent of the strain, or like how it smells and stuff, I would say like a pine forest. Pine scents, floral scents, lemony scents and stuff. It really just smells like a pine forest to me, like pine trees to me. Especially like when I smelled the inside of this whole thing. Definitely like pine forest to me. And this strain is a sativa dominant hybrid. So that kind of explains, you know, why it gives you like that relaxed feeling and stuff, but like just gives you a little pep in your step. So we're gonna light this thing as soon as I find my lighter. I can never find a lighter, even though I should always have lighters. I always do. I just, where they be going? Tell y'all where I got this from. I got it from Relief. It's a local, well, I won't say local, it's a Tennessee-based CBD shop. Black woman owned. So I'm gonna leave the description and stuff. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description box. So if y'all want to try this out, this AC/DC strain, you can go there and purchase it. And I will say this, so on the website there is like a $10 minimum, so you have to spend at least $10 to purchase anything. And also the shipping, I think the minimum price is like $7, and there's like a $11 option for shipping. However, everything does get to you fast. So the processing time was about, I believe, about 2 days, and then shipping was 2 days. So I got it in like 4 days. But yeah, so let's get into this video. So first things first, I think I'm gonna talk about stocks first, because stocks is the first way that I got into investing. So when I started investing in stocks, it was actually on Cash App, and it was back in like 2019. So I've been hearing about stocks and stuff like that for a while. I've been hearing like people say that you need to be investing in stocks, but that it was like a long-term type of investment. It wasn't like a invest in stocks and you're gonna see your money triple, double, quadruple in, you know, a couple months or so. It was like it would take probably like a couple years to really see the biggest gain off of your money. But I said, hell, let's try it. So I noticed that Cash App had like a little section for investing in the stock market. So I clicked on that, trying to see like what it was about and stuff. Kind of got myself familiar with it and purchased some stock. So the first time I had purchased stock, I did some back-end research, and I read that you're supposed to diversify your portfolio, which basically means you don't want to buy stock in all the same type of companies. So you don't want to get stock in just energy companies. You don't want to get, you don't want to just buy cryptocurrency. You don't want to just buy cannabis stock. Like, you want to buy a little bit of everything. So that's what I did. I bought a little bit of everything. I took about $100. I looked at stock that was all less than like $3-4. And mostly everything I bought was less than $3-4. And I just purchased some stock. I did purchase a couple different things that were above $3-4 a stock or $3-4 a share. But I mean, and so when I purchased them, they were partial shares or whatever. But I mean, that's something that a lot of people do, especially when it comes to like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, for example, because nobody is buying a share for $34,000. I mean, some people are, you feel me? Some people are. But that's out of my budget. So I bought a couple bucks in each company that I invested in. So I invested in like 2 natural energy companies. I invested in like 2 cannabis companies. I invested in some cruise lines. I invested in like a couple different travel companies and stuff like that. This was back in 2019. In like, was it like November, October, or something like that. And then I also invested in like some restaurants, some stores, just like some stuff that I read that would be a safe investment. So like, for example, I guess safe investments would be like Walmart, Coca-Cola, stuff like that, Disney, that you know is always kind of gonna probably be around, that you're not gonna lose a ton of money. Like, they've done pretty good in the past, they'll probably do pretty good in the future. I invested in a couple companies that were kind of on the rise, and those were like my natural energy companies. Now, I'm not saying they were just brand new. Most of them were already worth a couple $billion. The companies, not the share prices, the companies. So they weren't like just opening or just starting or anything like that, but you know, they was kind of new. And especially I think big oil was still like really popular, because Trump was kind of pushing for that back when I purchased. I don't remember exactly, because that's the research I did like a while ago. Like, I had bought a share, well, a couple shares, and I think it was Antero Resources at some point, and it was only $1.97 a share, and now it's like seven something a share. So, and then as I was purchasing stock, I kind of looked up like the companies and stuff like that I was purchasing from, like before I actually bought it, so that I would know more about the company and know if it's something I actually wanted to put my money into. And you always want to like research what you're going to invest in. You want to watch the news, stuff like that. You don't want to just blindly invest or invest because somebody tells you like, oh, this is the thing to go put your money into. Like, actually do the research and look for yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna lose out. So, I'm gonna give y'all an example of why I say you need to be doing your research. I had invested in different natural energy companies, right? Invested in natural energy because I didn't want to invest in oil, to be honest. It just kind of, I just didn't want to do that. One of the natural energy companies I invested in completely went bankrupt. I lost all my money. I got like some dividends from it, but it was not the same amount as what I had paid. I didn't invest too much, so I didn't lose too much, but I mean, a loss is a loss, period, though. Whether I lose a lot, little, it's still a loss, and I still don't like it. But then I invested in another energy company that like tripled in price. So that's why I say like do your research. Otherwise, don't invest in stocks. If you're not going to do your research on these companies, don't invest in stocks, period. Because you can't go off of what people tell you to buy. You just can't do that. That's not smart. I'm not trying to bash anybody or nothing like that, but it's just not smart. It's really not. You have to know what you're putting your money into. So anyways, that's how I started investing. It was just on Cash App. And then like as I kept investing and kept like learning more and stuff like that, I started using other apps. Robinhood was one of those apps. Now Robinhood is also very beginner friendly. I enjoy Robinhood, especially with all the features that it has, and it does have features that like Cash App does not have. So if you are going to start investing, Robinhood is a good one, and so is Stash. That was actually I had downloaded Stash way before Cash App, but I used Cash App before I used Stash. I also want to touch on like cryptocurrency, because people have been asking me like, what is cryptocurrency? So basically cryptocurrency is money. To put it in the simplest terms that I can think of, cryptocurrency is like internet money. Internet money. So you can like say someone in London wants to buy a shirt and they want to buy it from someone in the US, but euros to, and I believe that's what they use over there. If they don't, correct me on that. But euros to US dollars is a different conversion rate and like all this other stuff. So maybe they'll just decide to pay some Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is just internet money. That's what it is. It's an easier way for people across different countries and stuff like that to pay each other. Back in the day when I had first actually found out with Bitcoin, it was really popular, I think, on the black market. So that's why I kind of was hesitant. I didn't really do too much with it. But hey, back in the day, Bitcoin was worth like 12 cents, and now it's worth $34,000. So when I say like do your research on the stocks that you buy, and be willing to wait a little while sometimes, because that took 9 years. Was it 9 years? Maybe more, to get to $34,000. So you feel me? They had to wait, but their patience paid the fuck off if you invested in that shit. Let's get into the next way of investing. So there's also something called a mutual fund. And from what I'm understanding, and what I've been told and stuff by my financial advisor, and if you do need a financial advisor, I will be linking someone down below in the description box that you can call and get a consultation from. At the time that I'm linking this, they're doing free consultations. If you watch this and they are no longer doing free consultations, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. But still go and get you a consultation from a trusted financial advisor. You know, you can even ask other people, like, who do they recommend and stuff. You don't have to go to the person I linked below. You can just ask around. I actually ended up getting my first financial advisor at my credit union. So this is like back when I was pregnant, and I knew I wanted to invest more after I had gotten to stocks. But I also knew that I needed to learn more about investing if I was going to be spending a lot more money. Because I didn't want to spend money and drastically lose it if I intended to put a lot of money towards investing. So I called my credit union. So I was like, maybe they got some kind of financial class, or maybe they know where I can go and find a financial class, learn how to invest, or get somebody to help me with it. But I called them and I just asked, do y'all have any classes about finances, or do y'all know of anywhere I can go get help with finances or investing and stuff like that? And then they let me know that they actually had like a investment branch in the credit union. So I was like, okay, well, how do I get set up? And that's when I feel good, y'all. But that's when they told me that all I had to do was just set up an appointment with a financial advisor, and they would help me with everything that I needed. So set that up, and then I went to my first appointment. Now, prior to the appointment, since I was already familiar with like stocks and stuff, like I was a little familiar already with like how investing worked in general. I had a little bit of an idea of what I wanted to do. I knew how much I wanted to spend. I knew how much that how long I wanted to be investing for, and kind of an idea of the return that I wanted to get. So basically all that means is I knew how much that I had right now. I knew how much money that I had right at that moment to invest. How much I wanted to spend monthly in investing, because when you invest, you don't want to just throw some money in and then never look at it again. So anyways, I knew about how much I wanted to spend a month to keep investing, and I also knew what I wanted to use it for. So my first investment account I actually wanted to have for my son, and I wanted him to have something so that when he graduated high school, he could have money to use, whether that be for a business, to go to college, if he wanted to purchase real estate, or if he wanted to purchase real estate or land, or just whatever he wanted to do. I wanted him to have that money to use. So I wrote everything down. I was pregnant, my memory is bad. So I always had to write stuff down. So I wrote everything down, that like all my expectations, what I wanted to use it for, what my budget was, what I wanted to come in spending, what I could afford to put in a month. So I took that information, I went in there. The financial advisor then gave me some different information about different types of investments I could make, whether that be a mutual fund or something else. Now, there were some other options. I don't remember all of those options at the moment. She gave me like packets and just worksheets upon worksheets. I won't say worksheets, that's just the word I'll be using all the time, but just packets and information about different types of accounts that I could get. So say if I wanted my son to just use the money for college, or possibly even a retirement fund or stuff like that, I could set it up different ways to do different things. So, but what I ended up settling on was a mutual funds account. So I told her, after studying all the different account types that she gave me, like on paper, she made a list of everything. Like, we really sat in that meeting for, I think it was like 2 hours, and talked about my expectations that I have for myself financially, what I wanted to do with my money, how much I realistically had to spend, not what ifs or nothing like that. I told her, I was like, per month, I can't afford much. I'm pregnant, I'm working, I can't afford, to spend hundreds of dollars a month on investing. So she gave me some options, and I ended up going with a low risk mutual funds account, which just means that when you invest, you remember when I told y'all about, like, if you invest in like Disney, Coca-Cola, stuff like that, you're probably not going to lose a lot of money. A low risk mutual funds account just means they're going to make safe investments for you so that you don't lose a lot of money. So she told me what all the price, like the prices I was going to be looking at, my initial investment cost, my monthly cost. She just gave me all that information. And so then she told me what I needed to do once I was ready to start his account, because I was still pregnant at the time. So like obviously he wasn't born, he even had no social security card, nothing like that. So she gave me the information to kind of sit on, and I went in there actually one more time to talk about my like investment portfolio for myself. But that'll be a different video because I set some other things up for myself, but I'm still even learning about those, and I don't want to give anybody like bad information on, like, especially when you're spending bigger amounts of money. I definitely don't want to give nobody no bad information, so I'm gonna save that for a later video, what I did for myself. But anyways, going back to my son, I'm gonna give y'all an example of like a mutual funds account that is kind of like realistic for just people to people to afford in general. So one of the what do you call it, examples she gave me. So say I got like a low risk mutual funds account, and I put an initial investment of $250. So what an initial investment is just like, y'all know how back when I started investing in stocks and stuff, I told y'all that I took like, or did I mention this? Well, I took like $100 and I just spread it across a whole bunch of different types of stock. And that's what I did. That was the first time I invested. So my initial investment back then in stocks was $100. My initial investment on this mutual funds account for my son was $250. I'm giving y'all like the numbers from one of the examples or whatever. So if I spend $50 a month thereafter, and put that into like also going into investments, at the end of 18 years, when my son gets ready to graduate high school, I would have put in a total of about $13,000. Now, how are they going to invest my money and make it more and stuff like that? What they basically do is a mutual funds account is a bunch of professionals who already know how to invest money and are just going to do all that stuff for you. So all the stuff that I have been doing with like stocks and all that kind of stuff by myself, professional people are going to come in and do it for you. So with my $50 a month plus my $250 initial investment, equaling about $12,000 to $13,000 total, over the span of 18 years, they should be able to give me a return, or my investments and stuff should be worth about between $33,000 and $36,000. And that's what I was looking at on like the example that she gave me. And how she figured that was the company, the type of investment mutual fund that I did. We just looked up their past data from the past 20-30 years and applied like how much on average how they can get back on investments and stuff, and applied it to the next 20 years, well 18, applied it to the next 18 years if I had invested like right then and there and went for like 18 years, what I estimated should be looking at. So that was literally that's how I had got the information to start my son's mutual funds account. And then once I got his social security card and I really got like all the money that I was gonna need, I went and started that. And as I made more money, I just put more money into it. So, and then same for my own personal investments. The more money I got, the more money that I put into investing. Especially when I would get like, when I would make some money off my stocks, I would take that money out. And then I would wait for the price to drop on other stocks, and I would take like the profits from one stock and I would like buy other cheap stocks that I thought were going to do really good. So that was like another way that I also just made money, was by trading stock. But like I said, you have to do your research and stuff on your companies so that you're not just losing a bunch of money or just just buying stuff that you don't really need to buy. So anyways, that's how I got into the mutual funds situation. And I feel like that's something that, like, on top of stocks, but that's also something that a lot of people could do, and a lot of people could afford to, at least, just give your kid a little, I don't know, just a little, here you go, a little push, here you go. Okay, so next form of investing was real estate. Now, I had been wanting to purchase a home for, y'all, that's all I ever think about. Like, ever since I was a teenager, all I used to think about, all I used to look at all day long, I would look on Zillow, I would look on Realtor.com, I would look on Trulia. Like, I would sit there all day and stare at houses. I would look at the prices of houses. I would pretend shop for furniture. Oh my goodness, y'all, I used to watch Ropes and Design all the time. I would look and see how much it costs to, like, update my kitchen and pick out my cabinets and my flooring and estimate. Oh my goodness, like, I'm telling y'all, I got down to it so much. And this was even back when I was like 18, 19 years old, y'all. I was like, okay, I want to replace the flooring in my house just like Ropes and Design did. So I would go on like Lowe's.com. I would find my dream house. And if it needed new flooring, if I didn't like the flooring or whatever, I would go on like Lowe's.com and stuff like that. I would do the little price calculator on like the flooring and see how much I would need to put in my house. I even went and looked at like places who redid floors and stuff, and I'd be researching how much time does it take to replace hardwood floors and just all kind of stuff like that, y'all. I was into it way back when I was like 18. I just didn't have the money to buy a house. I thought I didn't have the money to buy a house, at least. So how I got into, or how I am starting to get into real estate, is I actually just decided to start going and looking at houses in real life. And that was when I was around, I believe 2021. I started going to like real house tours and stuff like that, open houses, like all the time. So any house that I liked, I will go look at it in an open house to get an idea of like prices and things like that. And then fast forward to after I had my son, I knew that we kind of figured that we were kind of tired of living in an apartment, only because the price of the apartment versus just how nice it is, I just didn't really feel like we were paying a very good price. Not only that, but I didn't want us to keep wasting our money renting when we could possibly own and either have our forever home and be paying for that, or just having something that was just better for us. I wanted a yard, I want to have cookouts, I want to have a garden and stuff. So I just thought it was time to kind of upgrade. And we knew we wasn't finna rent out no house. we considered that, but once we looked at the prices to rent out a house, no, we were like, we just gonna buy a house. We just gonna have to buy. And if we have to resell later on, we gotta resell. So from that point on, I had actually listened to an audiobook called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And if you go back in my previous videos, you'll see that I did like a mini book review to that. And I actually listened to that book around the time that I wanted to buy a house. After I'd already gotten into investing and stuff like that, because it wasn't actually that long ago. But it was like 2-3 months ago. So I kind of just digested everything that I heard about investing, entrepreneurship, real estate. I just digested what I listened to. I took notes and stuff, and I listened to it just all day long. Me and my man, we all listened to it all day long. The baby was sitting there listening to it. I don't know what he listened to, but he was listening to it too. So I decided that, after learning more about like assets and liabilities when it comes to real estate and homes and land and stuff like that, I knew I did not want to buy a home that would not sell for more than I got it for. And then I kind of realized I didn't want like a super duper fixer upper house, because I didn't feel like flipping houses. I don't know if that's really me. So what I decided was I wanted to get investment property, as in I either wanted to get a nice home with some good land that would maybe be worth more in the future if I ever decided to sell, or I wanted to get, and when I say good land, I mean like I like a couple acres. I like a couple acres. And or I wanted to get a house with like some rental income capabilities. So a duplex, a triplex, fourplex, things like that. And I know apartment building, that's out of my budget, but like that's what we were looking at. So if you go and actually look in my house hunting vlog, you'll see that we looked at, the first house was just a regular home, but it had like a little 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, like closing garage house in the backyard with its own little separate backyard. So that house could have been used for great just rental income. We also looked at a foreclosure that was on like 5 acres of land. We wasn't really feeling the land, to be honest. It just, I don't know, it was very strange. We wasn't feeling the land. And then we also looked at a third house that, oh my goodness, y'all, it was so beautiful. I felt like it was so beautiful. It was in a nice neighborhood. It was really the neighborhood we wanted to be in. Like, y'all, I love that house. I loved that house so much. So hopefully we find a home like that in the future for real, because I like that house. But anyways, so we looked at 3 different types of homes that I had read that we should look at. And my realtor helped me look up homes too. So, oh, and I want to go ahead and say that if you don't know anything about real estate and you want to know more about real estate, down below in the description box, I also linked a realtor, and you can go ask her questions about like getting a home, you know, just questions about investing in real estate, buying homes, buying property, what to look for. She can, I'm sure, refer you to someone. She's based in New York, but you know, I'm sure she can refer you to someone. And I also am going to link below a credit repair professional. She is licensed and all that. So I'm going to link both of those women down below, so that if you are on like that real estate investing, you know, type of time, that you can also get help with finding a home, finding investment property, buying some land, getting your credit like situated to do all that so you can apply for these homes, of home loans, grants even. I'm also going to link someone down below that can help you when it comes to finding different grants, homeowners grants and things. So I'm leaving a lot of good resources in my description box. So I really hope that y'all utilize these resources. I would still encourage you to go look at my video, Rich Dad Poor Dad, how I felt about it, so you can learn a little bit more about assets and liabilities when it comes to a home. But so an asset is basically a home that will appreciate in price, meaning if you buy the home for $100,000, you can sell it for $150,000. And you'd only have to put, you know, you'd have to put less than $50,000 in repairs in it so that you wouldn't lose your money. A liability, however, is like, say you bought $100,000 home and you had to put $25,000 worth of work in it to make it worth $100,000. So that's kind of an example of an asset versus a liability. Now, how can you go and invest in property? Okay, so say you got your credit, you know, pretty decent. You don't necessarily have to have a 700-800 credit score, but you do need to have like pretty okay credit. So say you wanted to purchase just a home for yourself, but you wanted that to be a good investment. You could purchase maybe a foreclosure, or just a home that maybe needed to be fixed up. Go for like a fixer-upper and really work on that home, fix it up, and then buy it in an area that is the price value of the homes is going up. So when you're looking for real estate to purchase, look at the prices of the homes around that house. Look for the prices that homes have sold for in the past. And also look at the history of the home that you're buying, property taxes, how they rise and fall, the worth of the home, how it rises and falls, stuff like that. If you notice that a home is on the lower end of the price spectrum for that area, but you notice that a lot of the homes are kind of starting to sell for a pretty little penny, excuse me, maybe purchase that home. Depending on what kind of shape it's in and stuff, you could purchase that home. If it's a fixer-upper, fix it up and then sell it and make a profit. Something you could also do, and you don't have to fix it up over a couple months like on the TV shows. You can stay in it for years. You could really stay in it for some years and just fix it up over time, make it a home you love, and then when you sell it, because the property value is going up in that area, you'll be able to sell it for more than you bought it for, plus more than repairs. And another way is you could get a home loan that will let you invest in property. So a traditional home loan, I believe like the lowest one you can qualify for a USD loan. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it. But a USD loan, and I believe like the lowest amount that you can get that one for is about $160,000. That home loan will only apply to like rural areas, so like the country, the outskirts of different cities, stuff like that. It doesn't apply for homes in the city. Another type of loan you can get is an FHA loan, and I will correct that once again if I'm wrong, because I'm also new at this, so I'm kind of bringing y'all with me as I go. And with that type of home loan though, you can rent property out. With the other type of home loan, you cannot rent that property out. So for that type of home loan, what I probably suggest you do is like go and find a nice property that you like, that you think will appreciate over time, and purchase that. If you're able to get a rental income type situation, I would suggest you do that. Maybe buy a triplex or a fourplex or an apartment complex if you have that much money and are able to, and then you can have that money as rental income. So say like for example in that first home that we looked at in my house shopping vlog, where there was rental income capabilities. So say we bought that home and our mortgage was $1,200 a month. And I'm gonna throw just some numbers out there. Say our mortgage was $1,200 a month, and now say that we rented that 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom garage situation back there for $1,200 a month. We would essentially be paying our mortgage with our rental property income, so that when we sell our home, we wouldn't have really lost too much money, because, you know, hopefully you can sell your home for at the minimum as much as you bought it for. But with somebody staying in the other place and paying that rent that was paying your mortgage, you know, you're kind of, you ain't lose out. Now you can also keep that in the family or whatever and just use it for longer than that. You just, you know, do what you do. However, with the other kind of loan, like I said, you can't do that. You can't rent it out. You can't do none of that. The government don't want you to do that. So, you know, it is what it is. But say, for example, you had got that foreclosure that I was looking at on 5 acres. You bought that. That one was like a little bit more out in the country and stuff like that. Say you bought it with like the USD home loan, and later on you were able to sell it for more than that because the property price went up, the property value went up because of the acreage. Probably not because of the home, because the house was a like one of those, you know, those houses they just put together. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. One of those houses they just kind of put together. That's an option as well. And then another way that you could invest into real estate is by buying land. So keep in mind that when you have land, you don't have to automatically just have a farm on that land. You can do a lot of different things with land. So you rent that land out for campgrounds. Also keep that land and just let it flourish naturally on its own, and then perhaps sell it or keep it in the family so that it would be worth even more if someone else were to sell it or possibly need that land to start a farm, build a business, build a home, whatever reason. The prices of land and stuff can rise and fall just the same as houses. So put a couple properties on it later on down the line. You could either take those homes that you built on it and piece them apart and sell each house like that, or you could just kind of build your own little community if you wanted to, or possibly put like a shooting range for people to come pay to shoot. And of course, putting farmland on there, growing, just growing vegetables, fruit, whatever you want to grow, hemp, cannabis, whatever you want to grow. You put it on there, you grow, sell the product, or just live off of it, but sell the product. That's also another way you can invest with buying land. You can rent land out to other people. So say that you like the land, but you're not necessarily a green thumb, but you know someone who is in need of land, but they just don't have any, but they could use some. You could rent that land out to them and let them farm on that land. So there's all types of different ways you can invest just in buying land and not even buying a home. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk about is building a business for yourself. Now, keep in mind that you are an investment yourself. You don't always have to just spend money on other people. You can be that next $1 million business. You don't always have to search for the next $1 million business in the stock market. You could be that. So building a business is a great way to invest in yourself as well. Now, that's something that I am very new to. However, below I will link not only an accountant. If you are building a business or you already have a business, you're already an entrepreneur, I would suggest getting an accountant. Most great businesses do have accountants. They have people that control the money, keep the money, make sure that everything is looking good. Small businesses, I would suggest that you get one as well. So down below, I will link an accountant as well. You can go check her out, get consultations, hire her, all that stuff. If you'll link down below a Facebook group, if you are a Black-owned business, it is called Shop Black Business Hub. And you can go in there, find other entrepreneurs. You can go in there and advertise your business, things like that. One of the co-creators is a friend of mine. So if you want to possibly ask her questions about how you can get involved with Shop Black Business Hub and either be a brand ambassador, if you want to provide products for some of the brand ambassadors that they will soon be hiring and things like that, to get your business more out there, I will be linking her down below, like how you can get in contact with her as well and her team, so that you can, get your Black-owned business out there. I will also be linking down below, Knoxville, Tennessee is doing a mentorship program for Black businesses, and they are giving away $5,000 grants. I will link the article down below that I read that in. I'm kind of having a little trouble finding more information about that. So if anybody has more information on that, that will be linked down below. And the reason I'm linking those things down below is because as a person who wants to become an entrepreneur myself, who wants to grow a business, build a business, start a business, grow a business. These are resources that I am going to use myself, and some that I am already using myself. Mentors, you can never go wrong with having a mentor when you're starting a business. You can never go wrong with having someone teach you how to use your money, not just in life in general, but especially with starting a business. So the reason I am linking those people down below instead of getting more into depth about starting a business is because I'm still learning how to start a business, y'all. So those are things that I need help with myself. So I'm just going to link below some of the resources that I have used to do so. And as y'all know, I am also in the cannabis industry. Hello, we doing a smoke session now, but I'm in the cannabis industry, y'all. So I'm also going to link below an attorney who is also a cannabis advocate, as well as a couple of other cannabis advocates and people who are heavy in the cannabis industry. Reason being is because I believe it's really important too that me as a cannabis entrepreneur, brand ambassador, and a cannabis advocate, that it's important that we really support Black people in cannabis because of how we've been so affected by cannabis laws. I think it's really time that we especially support those people. So I'm going to be linking down below a couple of different people that I shop with, some different cannabis advocates that I've met, an attorney that specializes in cannabis law as well. I'm going to be linking a lot of people down below in my video, and I hope that y'all use that. All these people that I have linked below are Black professionals, Black-owned businesses. It's important, like I said, that we circulate our money within our community. So here are some resources for y'all to have. Free resources. Well, I'm giving them to you for free. I'm giving them to you for free. And also, if y'all like my beanie, I'm going to link down below the artist who makes these beanies, Guapstar, so that you can go and purchase your own beanie. And if you're wondering about the music that I have in my video, once again, if you check my description box, I'm going to link down below the artist, and he is a Black man. So we are really trying to take this, when it comes to investing, I really want to take it full circle, because like I said, I just believe it's time to build back our communities. I feel like it's time to buy back our communities, and I feel like it's time to start circulating money within our communities so that we see a difference in our communities, and we see a difference in the people coming out of our communities and being raised up in our communities. That's it. That's all. That's why I linked all these people. So I know this was a long ass video, y'all. I really hope y'all watched to the end. And I hope y'all liked it. I got another blunt to smoke. Well, I do, but I'm gonna smoke it like later because I feel pretty good right now. I don't really feel like I need to smoke another one. I'm gonna end this video here, y'all. I'm gonna try to upload at least once every 2 weeks. That's the goal. That's what I'm doing. Follow my social media. Follow my Instagram, Shakira Smith on Instagram, as well as Where Is Shake on Instagram. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss when I post. Cause when I post, it just be random, y'all. It be random days of the week, and it be random times of the week. It really be when the spirit moves me. For real. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Sit back and take notes as I take totes of this marijuana smoke.